So I got a text from my mom earlier today. And so what is today? Today is the 10th. Okay. So she sent me this message. I don't know where she got this information from. And clearly this is this is in coming from a quote unquote scientific perspective, right? So the language here is not going to be
Sure.
completely accurate. But let me just read this. Buck Moon 2025. The farthest full moon from the sun is rising tonight.
Mm.
Look up tonight. The cosmos is putting on a spectacular show. So if you're seeing this afterwards, I guess, hey, hopefully you get to see it. Spectacular show on July 10th, 2025. The buck moon will reach its peak, and it's not your average full moon. This one holds a rare title, the most distant full moon from the sun this entire year. So, what makes this buck moon so special? It's all about perfect celestial timing. Just last week, Earth reached its aphelion, the point in its orbit when it's farthest from the sun. And now, how many times are they going to say that in this?
Yeah, I
It's
know,
farthest
right?
from the sun. Just one more time at least. And now, with the full moon rising right on the heels of that moment, we're witnessing the year's most distant lunar view from our place in the solar system. It's a beautiful cosmic coincidence.
Just a coincidence.
Coincidence, yeah.
Happen
Yeah.
chance. Yeah, just
Yeah.
stuff spinning and moving and
Yeah.
showed up.
All right, here we go. The moon will officially reach its peak fullness at 4:36 p.m. EDT. I guess that's the same as Eastern Standard Time or something. I don't know.
They make a pill for that.
Yeah, I know. But the best time to soak it in is shortly after sunset.
What color is that pill, Joe?
I have no idea.
What color is your tongue right now? Expected to rise around 8:53 p.m. local time in most regions. As it climbs the horizon, get ready for the moon illusion, in quotes there. It's a visual trick where the moon appears much larger and more dramatic when it's low in the sky. It's an awe-inspiring sight that never gets old. And the name Buck Moon, that comes from Native American and colonial era traditions. July marks the time when male deer or bucks begin to grow their antlers, symbolizing strength, renewal, and the natural rhythms of the wild.
Mm.
Anyway, so I thought that was just pretty neat. Thought I'd share that with you guys. So maybe if you can get out there and check that out this evening.
At 4:30 in the morning?
No. Like
Said
it
PM. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
Oh,
dinner
okay.
time.
Okay.
yeah. So
Well, it seems like all the. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
basically at sundown you should be able to go out and start seeing it. It should anyway, the moon should look really, really big tonight as it's starting to come
Really
over the
big.
horizon. But
Yeah,
it's gonna look smaller as it gets higher in the sky, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm all kind of confused because you're like, oh, it's gonna be the furthest it's ever been all year from the Earth, and it'll be
No, from the sun.
giant. Oh, from the sun.
Yeah,
I thought it was the
furthest from the
furthest from the
sun.
Earth, and then the Earth are furthest from the sun. I thought there's two furthest in that.
There was.
Yeah, I think it's furthest from the Earth, and then we are also furthest from the sun.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, it's the middle of summer right now. We definitely are not the furthest from the sun.
I
We're
think what the
further away
article
from it.
said was we at one point the Earth was furthest from the sun, and now it's going to be the moon is furthest from the sun, so it's going to appear larger on the horizon.
Yeah, y'all totally did not listen to anything that I said.
I was listening.
I definitely wasn't. What are we talking about?
Okay, well, it says just last week, Earth reached its
Urch.
Yeah, Urch did. Earth
That's
reached,
brother. That's Lurch's brother.
Earth reached its aphelion, the point in its orbit when it's farthest from the sun.
Yeah.
That was last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel you, Kyle. Okay.
Huh?
I feel you.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Pronunciation, yeah, I bet. Okay, so anyway, Earth was supposedly furthest away from the sun last week, which makes no sense in the middle of summer, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it must have dropped like what a half a degree.
It doesn't have to make sense. It's science.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't prove it or replicate it.
Don't ask too many questions either.
Well, it's funny that was brought up because I mean, I don't know, man. I got a lot of things on my mind tonight that's quite biblical, I think. And man, I've been dealing with allergies like crazy today, so y'all forgive me. But apparently, starting like today or yesterday, the Earth will spin faster.
Mm,
Okay, bear
sure.
with me.
Yeah.
Again, this is
Yeah.
science, right?
Mhm.
The Earth is going to spin faster for like the next few months, which means we're going to be experiencing shorter days than ever, is the claim that's being made.
Ever.
In the
Yeah.
summer.
Ever.
Shortest days ever.
Hmm.
So that's a thing that's supposedly happening over the next couple of months.
Mm.
So y'all know anything biblical about shortening of days or anything like that?
Never heard of it.
No.
Yeah, and in those days, the time will be shortened.
Well, not
For
only
the
that,
elect's sake.
yeah, not only the shortening of not only that, the time being shortened, but also just in the sense, well, I mean, if you some of the extra biblical books, right? They
Mhm.
speak of days not being as long as they were. They're going to pass by much faster. If I'm not mistaken, Second Esdras, I believe, is one of those books.
Sounds
I
right.
think. And maybe Second Baruch. I can't remember, but yeah,
Hmm.
kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
And
and then,
maybe even Enoch. I don't know.
and you look
Right.
at like some of the other stuff talking about, the enemy will look to change times and seasons and stuff, and that could definitely be some other meanings and some alliterations to other stuff. But when you look at changing of times, what's the one thing that scripturally at least there's some stuff that's very time sensitive, time based.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start blowing up your calendar or you're basing it on the moon or on the sun or fill in the blank on what you're basing it on, and that changes, then what? If your year isn't exactly 354, 364, 365, whatever time frame that you're choosing, and you're off by hours or at the end of the year, days, you're missing 24 hours. Well, if your whole calendar is messed up, then your cycle that you've been following, whether it be, a 19-year cycle, a 7-year cycle, fill in the blank, it's going to be broken a little bit. Then what do you do?
Right.
Yeah, I see the implications there.
Yeah.
Now, if it's like 30 seconds, you're like, all right, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, that's 30
Yeah, I know.
seconds.
Other than
Yeah.
stick your finger in your mouth and hold up in the air and go that way. That way.
So, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but most of these celestial events, like they know about this stuff years, decades, centuries in advance now with all the technology that we have, supposedly, right?
But I was going to say, but do they? They keep finding these asteroids and stuff. They're like, oh, by the way, this asteroid just showed up in our solar system yesterday, and it's the size of a school bus.
And it's going to barely miss us.
Right. You just found it yesterday, like last week. Wait,
Right.
what are these time frames? I thought you checked everything.
Right. So they supposedly know all this stuff, and then stuff just happens to pop up like this. You would think we would have heard this for months and months, if not years, that this was going to be a thing. Nope.
Oh, I know what it is. It's Y2K finally catching up with us. So we're going to reset time eventually. It just took a little while.
We're going back to zero.
Speaking of that, whatever happened to Planet X, Nibiru?
That
was like the talk of the town years ago, and how it was going to pass in between the Earth and the Moon, and it was going to be so close, and then it could actually strip part of the atmosphere off and cause all kinds of stuff happening. And they were talking that thing up for a while about Planet X, and all of a sudden it's like it never existed anymore. It's like it's magically gone. So
there has been lots and lots of people lately in Florida, all the way up the East Coast, basically, but mostly Florida and Georgia and South Carolina have been seeing multiple sphere-shaped things in the sky next to the
calling
sun.
it a dual sun sometimes, or something like that,
or even three of them.
Yeah, I saw the picture with 3. And they chalk it up to like lens flare or lens distortion or whatever. I was like, I don't know. There's a lot of people saying it. Everybody's camera can't be broken.
Right.
But
right.
you know, who are we?
and these are people who are saying that they're seeing it. Now, obviously, I can't vet all these people or information, right? But
Right.
I mean, these are people that are saying, they're claiming that they're seeing this, and then they're using their camera or whatever to record it. And they're getting this from multiple different angles from multiple states.
Mhm.
That's the thing. You know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on that, and unfortunately, we don't even know what's real anymore. AI has gotten way too good.
Yeah.
And we just don't know what's real anymore. We don't know if it's a hoax. I mean, do you guys see the one where it was someone was doing the what's that camera that's a Nikon something, the one that zooms in really close?
Oh yeah, P1000 or
P1000,
whatever.
Yeah, P1000. Yeah. And someone was like, "Hey," and it was like, "Man, watch this." And he goes and he zooms in on the moon. Then he goes to just to the right of it, and there's like a face, the celestial face, like looking.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. That is eerie looking, but I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
How many people actually went outside after that and were like holding their cameras up going?
Right. And that one guy was the only one to have ever seen it, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I will say this though, he did a good job of making it. It looked eerie, dude. I was like, I didn't even want to try. I was like, my luck, I'll go out there and I'll see it and be like, oh man, it's real.
He got a lot of views and a lot of subscribers off of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So hey, just be fake like everyone else, guys. You can make a bunch of money.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, throw in 2, 3, 4 different suns up there, throw in some Nibiru and whatever else you want to do, but
Oh, that angry son from Mario that would fight you. Throw that up there too.
I hated that
Oh.
thing, man.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
So you just never know, man. You just never know.
So Kyle, does this have like any implications? Like, so you're talking about, shorter days or furthest away from the sun or the moon or what, all the stuff moving all over the place. Does this change any of like the, because these are scientific statements. So does it change like gravity, polarity? Does it change seasonality, weather? I mean, there has to be some implications. It can't just be nothing.
It would have to be, right?
Right.
Supposedly.
If it's true. And then
if it's true.
Right.
Yeah, but Kyle, let me ask you this real quick though. What
wind,
how
waves,
much?
everything.
Yeah, but how much? Because science will tell you, the day got short, and it could be like something that's not even a viewable thing by us. It's not something that we can go out there and observe and go, it was 5 minutes earlier today, or the day last it was 5 minutes less. Sometimes they'll tell you this, and then we're talking about microns, like, it was not observable, but the day was shorter.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They also tell us things like and forgive me, I know I'm going to misquote this because I don't know it off the top of my head, but they make claims that if the sun were like it's so precise that if the sun were like a mile different one way or the other, further or closer to us, if it was a mile closer to us, we would all burn up. If it was a mile further away, we'd all freeze to death. That's the claim. And again, I don't remember exactly what the distance was, but it was something really, really short. It could have been 20 feet for all I know what the claim is, but yeah, it's just really.
Well, two things out of that's really cool though. Luckily, we know the sun is in the firmament, so it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't get any closer, or any further away. Number two is I thought was pretty interesting is when you talk about near and far. So we got Grover in this one, right? Near, far, but it's something that's always since we're talking about outer space and the planets and all that. I've always thought it amazing of how Mars is like 900 million miles away or whatever it is, but the sun looks exactly the same size. When I take a shot of the sun on the horizon, it's the same size as the sun here that we see here on Earth. I'm like, I have to give it the one eyebrow raise, like, really? So this is going to be optical illusion again, or whatever you're going to tell me. But
yeah,
the daytime on Mars when they're taking the day photos, it's nice and bright, but supposedly it's like 900 million miles away or something. I'm like,
and the huge difference between the sun and the moon as far as their distance supposedly, but they just happen to align exactly so that one can eclipse the other, kind of thing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a roll of the dice, man. Just a roll of the dice. Oh, they're same size? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's all a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's all
just a
coincidence,
big
man.
coincidence.
We're just a big mistake out floating somewhere that got lucky.
There you go. There you go.
Well, and Kyle, part of why I ask is, when we look at, scientific principles, stuff that's been taught in modern science, on the Discovery Channel, the Earth is got more water in the middle. It's like kind of stretched out a little bit. We have like extra water around the equator from the spinning part.
Mhm.
And then also, because it's equally smushed in the middle, so we're slightly smushed of water, but then it's also equally pear-shaped in the
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah, South
so that-
America's like the thong.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
We're
Sorry,
getting
go ahead.
canceled.
It doesn't divide. It divides the hemispheres.
Yeah, the two halves. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
spheres.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just interesting to see how all those scientific models, when you put them all together, can't work, right? If it's smushed in the middle, that means it's equally top and bottom, the water. But then if the bottom's bigger, then it's not smushed in the middle, it's smushed more toward the bottom. So it's like every one of these details can't work together in unity. Then if what you're saying is like extra days, extra far, extra all this stuff, that has to have impacts on all that stuff. So now you have one layer affects another layer. So you have like, the amount of error in there is like, 10 to the 50th power or whatever. If like how many things would have to perfectly align for it to even possibly make sense. And that's where the questions I start running into is like, how is it pear-shaped, but then equally flat in the middle, and then also bulging, and then also, and also.
And how do we have these perfect basketball photos of the Earth from outer space?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes a lot of sense if you don't think about it,
Right. There's something about it. Yeah.
You science deniers.
I agree without understanding.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't question, just agree.
Yeah.
Check
there
the
was
box
that
at the
one,
bottom.
The one famous scientist who said, "Oh yeah, it's kind of pear-shaped at the bottom. It's just a little bit more wide." I'm like going,
Yeah.
"What?"
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yep.
What a goober.
Sure. Whatever.
Well,
That's where you get water.
Speaking of controlling the narrative of understanding, have y'all heard about the new law that has quietly gone into place and is currently in place for 26 states already, is pending in 13 others, and only 11 remaining regarding Israel?
No, you're going to have to share.
Yeah, so this is fun.
So it's just states, not federal yet. Or is it federal and then working on the states?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll let you continue.
So there's a law that is supposedly, again, signed into law already, done deal, that is a loyalty to Israel type law. Now, the First Amendment guarantees our freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
We have the ability to
supposedly.
We have the ability to redress our own government. But guess what? You can protest the United States in the United States. We have that kind of freedom. You know what you can't any longer do in 26 states? 13 pending and 11 remain. You cannot speak against the Israeli government. It is an arrestable offense.
Wow.
How about that?
I've done that before.
I'm going to keep doing it.
It's probably going to come up.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
So when you say the government, it's not just like the leader or anything. It's like the entire government from the clerk all the way up to the prime minister.
We don't have a prime minister here. What are you talking about?
Israel. You said.
Oh, Israel's got.
Stay on topic. We got this.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
From my understanding, anything regarding Israel.
Wow.
Period. Like any decisions that they make, you're not able to question it here.
That's crazy because they're protesting their own government right now. Netanyahu's getting ready to go to court for like problems. I since I'm not allowed to talk about it. He's alleged many a thing. So they can.
But as long as he's in office, he can't be done away with. Supposedly, he can't be sent away. That's my understanding. Now, I could
Right.
be wrong on that, but my understanding is as long as he's in office, he can't be executed or sentenced
Mhm.
to anything if he's found guilty or whatever.
So they can
That's my
talk bad about each other and have scandals in different parties and have the coalition governments and all that, but we can't say anything as Americans.
So my question is, if that's the case, who actually runs this country?
Yep, that was going to be my next question.
Well, this is supposedly the home of the red, white, and blue star. So I guess that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
All I know is this is the original Lone Star. We don't need another one. We already got one.
So that's a thing, man. There's all kind of crazy stuff going on.
So where is Georgia and South Carolina in this so far?
Yeah, Georgia and South Carolina is part of the 26 states that have already
I'm
signed
sure.
it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
'Cause,
what constitutes? Was it very specific at all about what constitutes?
I know
mean,
very
literally,
minimal about
is
this
it
right now.
anything, or is it, or
To my understanding, it is anything speaking anything against the decisions of the nation state of Israel.
so I'm assuming would that include questioning something like, hey, like why y'all doing this? I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, look what happened to Candace Owens just for asking questions.
Yeah. Well, and this has been brewing and building from all the Palestinian demonstrations and they're not really riots, I guess, but protests and whatnot, where they've got people going out with Palestinian flags. You've got people in the Senate that are like, I don't know. I'm not going to say it, but they might be pro-Palestinian. I don't know how this all works out. I don't know what the difference is between everybody, but there's been a lot of talk in our country, especially with like Harvard and all that. Now, I'm not saying what they were doing was right or wrong. Obviously, if you're going to protest, do it peacefully. Don't single out a single group and treat them any differently, or give them less of an American treatment as you would anybody else based on their religious or cultural background. I'm not saying we should do that. But if somebody wants to say, hey, I don't like Israel, hey, I don't like Mexico, hey, I don't like Canada, like we're allowed to have opinions, or
Right.
I like my country above all the other countries. Everybody else is second to my country. That should be always should be acceptable. That's what patriotism is. That's what, why you serve your country. You pledge allegiance to this flag. You know what I mean? There's so much of what we do is in-house. So it is interesting to see, like, this has been building up for sure with all the unrest over the Gaza war and all that. And then like everybody in America feels like they need to have an opinion on it and speak their opinion on it. And it needs to go all the way to the top of the government down to, as we talked about one of the episodes, Billy Bob, right? Yeah. Everybody's got a conversation about it. But now they're saying that you're not even allowed to have that conversation. Or if you do, it has to only be in a positive light. There's no way that could be right. That has to be like a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And take it a little further, I'm against oath taking, right? However, personally, I think that if it doesn't logically make sense that you can swear an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. That means anyone, from the President of the United States to your local police officer, and everyone in between. How is it possible for you to swear an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and at the same time maintain dual citizenship with another nation? Don't worry, I'll wait. Do you know how many political members of Congress and Senate have dual citizenship with Israel?
A lot.
A lot. So, not that I ever expect this to happen, but let's just for the sake of conversation, just say that the United States was to butt heads with Israel, right? What are these politicians going to do? You have a dual citizenship between an opposing nation and the one you're working in the government for. How likely is it that you're going to support the one that you swore an oath to versus the one that your religion is based off of? Especially if you think you're a chosen people of some kind.
I think they call that a conflict of interest.
Yeah, big time. Big time. I don't know how how is it legal? Is it legal? I don't think that it is legal for someone to have a dual citizenship and work in our government, or that where you are sworn into an office where you have to swear an oath to uphold the Constitution and put this country and the Constitution as the supreme law of that to govern this nation. I don't see how that's legal for you to have a dual citizenship. It doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever. They just see. I mean, to me, it just seems like we have a bunch of spies or people working for another government to run our government.
Right. Well, and Kyle, I mean, I'm not to change the subject, but to look at it from the same equal perspective of we're creating laws about what the companies and the market's allowed to do while also buying stocks of the same market that we're creating laws for. And you're like, these jobs are only getting paid $200,000, $400,000 if you're the president. That's the max the government will pay for that position. There is no other money. There's not like a second pot of like, oh, you're the president, here's $94 billion. There's no such thing.
Right.
You are capped at a salary based on a government position. And these ladies and gentlemen come out of here multi-billionaire millionaires off of political office. It's very interesting to me, like how all this plays out. First you start off with dual citizenship, then you start off with lobbying, then you start off with behind the scenes marketing. They're like, or markets. And they're like, oh no, we're not doing any insider trading. We're just knowing what's going to happen in advance. So then we make sure that we're prepared for said event while everybody else is just dealing and reeling.
That's called insider trading.
Exactly. So, and I know there's been a few people, that have gotten themselves in some trouble, messing around with that, but it's crazy to me because it's not just the politicians, Kyle. These dual citizenship. It's like the CDC directors. It's the in charge of all the major companies, in charge of BlackRock, in charge of everything. Like all these huge companies, dual citizenship. It's like you're making policy and you're adjusting rules and expectations for the world, and you've got a decently interesting allegiance. Let's just put it that way. Because I mean, even part of the oath is, allegiance to the same, right? You have allegiance. You are aligned only one way.
Right.
So if you're doing this, unless you're cross-eyed or something where you can look two ways at the same time. But yeah, interesting.
Well, Kyle, with these bills being passed, it kind of, to me, makes it a less possibility of there ever being a conflict between the U.S. and Israel.
There can't be, because they're the ones that's running this country.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We're their strong arm, Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Russia. We're told over and over again that Russia's our enemy, right? They're the big bad giant of the East.
Yep.
Okay. Post-Stalin, what have they done? What's been so bad? You know why they're the big bad enemy? Because they kicked out the central banks. They kicked out the central banks.
Yep.
That's why Russia's our enemy, because the people who run our government run the central banks.
Well, and if you do a little digging on what other countries didn't accept the central banks, there's a eerie coincidence between all of them. North Korea.
Funny, all these coincidences we have.
Yeah. North Korea, Iraq, and Gaddafi. Was that Sudan? Or what country was that?
Muammar Gaddafi. Yeah, that was Libya.
Libya, thank you. I was like, it's that one right over there.
Dude,
and those are all the countries that didn't accept the bank, and then stuff happened in those countries.
Yep, unreal how prosperous Libya was becoming, and how the people were free electricity, free water, free education, all this other stuff. But it wasn't treated like a communist or socialist society. It was a prospering nation. But yeah, they had to take him out because he was doing too well without their central bank. They got somebody in there now doing it though, don't they?
Yep.
Not that we agree with all the leaders of these countries and what they're doing, but just the bank side of it, just the money.
Right. We're just talking about leadership.
Yeah.
The money behind the faces that we see every day, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. Like, oh, so you guys like that kind of? No. I didn't say all that.
No, they're all puppets in their own right,
Mm.
for sure.
Right. Well,
But yeah,
speaking of Russia, they just dropped, or they just had another attack on Ukraine,
oh yeah,
and so apparently they I'm trying to pull up my report here to see. Nope, that's not it. But they attacked with 700 drones and attacked Ukraine. I think it was yesterday.
Hmm.
I believe I was trying to look for my report. I don't see it, but anyway, regardless, I was thinking about this though, guys. Like, what does 700 drones, and we're not talking about like, the ones like you can go and buy at the store,
Well,
little
DJI,
drones. Yeah,
with the
we're not talking
camera on
about
you.
like, we're not talking about drones that go up there and they're doing all these fancy things in the sky, and
Are they
making,
equivalent to like our Predator drones or something?
right.
Not quite
These
that
are,
big, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
yeah, they're decent size. But what's funny is I was trying to find an image of a Russian drone,
Uh-huh.
like the ones that are being used over there, and you get all these different images, and it's almost like they don't want you to see what they look like.
Right.
Go figure.
Right, right.
But
Mhm.
but I was thinking, I was like, wow, what is 700? I mean, and again, we're not talking about small, but they're pretty decent sized drones. What does 700 drones look like going through the sky? And
Nightmare.
or do the, yeah. And then in the middle of trying to find,
Did you ever
you
see the
know,
movie Crows?
yeah,
Okay, never mind.
yeah.
That's what I think of.
But yeah. So anyway, if you'll share this photo here, Kyle, I put in here. This is apparently the new drone for the Russians.
Oh boy.
And
Can you
what
expand
is that?
that?
It's as big as it's gonna get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, say any bigger, it's gonna be blurred out. So that looks great. That looks
Wow.
crazy though.
So
Looks
the
like
head,
a
Yeah, it's
an
it's
owl.
already blurring out. There you go. I'm making it a little bit bigger, but it wasn't the best quality. But it's like, it's almost
Dude.
like they
So
don't want you to see it. So this looks like an owl.
it looks like an owl, but it's also painted in a way that would be camouflage in the sky.
Yes.
That's crazy, man.
So
You said it looks like an
Wow.
owl?
if you guys didn't know, yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
an owl.
Well,
Yeah.
who built it?
Yeah. Woo, woo. Now, could you imagine though, like that, like part of this? Now, this isn't this is a decent size, but this is more about spying. This isn't
Right, right.
this isn't about carrying payload or missiles or anything like that. This is strictly about spying.
That's wild.
And I'm sure you guys already know this, but the owl is probably the most stealth bird there ever is or ever was, because I've actually seen them do studies where they've had them in a quiet room or a studio where it's completely, I mean, zero noise,
Dead silent.
and you could not hear that bird. He flew like 20-30 feet to a handler, and you could not hear the wind. You couldn't hear nothing. That was like, it
Nothing.
was amazing.
Wow.
And they had super high. I saw that experiment.
You
They
saw
had
that one? Yeah.
super high quality microphones that could pick up like a pin drop, but it could not pick up that bird taking flight. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
and this
Wow.
particular, I don't remember which owl it was. This particular one had like a wingspan of like 6 feet,
Mm.
and so when they slowed it down, it's very beautiful. But he just takes one big push, and the
Mhm.
rest of it, because his wings are so large, he's basically gliding in. But there's no noise, nothing. It was pretty cool. But
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
saw it. I was like, well, I said, if you're going to pick an animal, a bird to be stealthy, I said that's the perfect one to pick. But I was like, so it's probably, the pictures I saw with it, like next to a guide, it's probably bigger, a little bit bigger than what an owl would be. But what a perfect cover to be way up in the sky, and someone would see it and go, oh, it's just a bird,
Mhm.
it's flying around. But the whole time you see the way that mouth was, that high powered lens in there, just spying on you the whole time, and you just think, oh, look at the bird.
I don't mean to change the subject, but I just had a thought for a second. So,
It's scary.
all right. So Moloch was a god that was worshipped in ancient times, right? But
Yep.
Moloch, and its image that's used today in worship is that of an owl.
Yep.
Mhm.
But it had a different image prior to that. It was like a bull or something like that, like a lot of them were, right? I wonder if it changed to the owl because the tactics changed. That stealthiness. Like, first of all, they are an apex predator, right? They are super bad. Depending on the size of the owl, I mean, they can take out like large mammals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, other birds, fish, snakes, you know, varmints of multiple kinds. Like I've even heard of like small deer and stuff like that being taken out by them. So I mean, like they super bad, right? But they're deadly silent,
Mm-hmm.
and they're silent but deadly, if you will.
So one too many butt jokes in this
I
one.
wonder. I just wonder if the image that is used to worship this particular god was changed because the tactics changed. It went from being that brute in your face, like bull in a china shop type thing, to being okay, we're gonna go underground with this. We're gonna be stealth with it. We're still gonna attack. We're still gonna kill, steal, destroy, all that, but we're gonna do it in a way that they don't ever see it coming.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting that you went that way, because the whole time I was thinking, I was like, and what's one of the number one most popular today? Not like in all time, like today, like recent last 5 years, the most popular image in like the occult that's made its way into like mainstream is the owl. Like, start looking around at like the stores you saw in kids' clothes, earrings, you know, they even had that movie with the owls. There was like a whole group of owls. I forgot what it was called already. But it was a video game, and they made a movie out of it, and it was all these owls. And then they've had it, like I said, in all the kids' clothes, all the new designer stuff. Like that's just been like the most popular thing, like clocks, everything has got owl on it nowadays. So yeah, Joe, I wasn't expecting you to pull up a picture of an owl. That was interesting to. Oh, Guardians of something was the name of that.
Yeah. I'm actually looking it up right now.
Oh, okay. I got my fact check. Just
Legend of the Guardians.
There you go.
Yeah, it came out in 2010 when you were a young whippersnapper.
I know. I'm aging myself on that one. Hey, I did watch it though. So yeah, it's been a popular thing that they've been pushing for a long time, and again they had that, what was that, Bohemian Grove or whatever, with that big giant owl out there.
I was gonna bring that up. That's been a part of their get up for a long time.
Well, take it away.
Yep. No, you're good. That's pretty much it. I mean, if anyone's ever looked into, or if you have not looked into, go find some old Alex Jones video.
That was the thing that got him famous, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that one senator guy was about to come unglued. As soon as he's like, yeah, you know, I videotaped the whole thing, and I saw you over there, and all the stupid stuff going on with the Bohemian. He's like, wait a minute, you were there? Oh yeah, I videotaped it, and I got all the evidence. I got
busted it wide open.
That guy lost. That guy was like, you can't do that. That guy was like losing his mind, dude. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he gave him the Kenneth Copeland look. You don't tell me about that.
He's like, oh yeah, flying in the tube with demons. I never said that. Don't you ever say I did?
So just in case anybody doesn't know, so the Alex Jones snuck into Bohemian Grove, which is this place in California amongst the redwood trees, and it's where all the who's he what's of elites gets together and makes plans for the for the world and how it's going to run behind the scenes.
Really weird stuff while they're there.
Yeah, everybody that should be having full disclosure on what their activities are, this is a place where they go and there's no disclosure. All the people that you think are enemies are behind closed doors, shaking hands and doing ritual crap and just all kind of stuff. And one of the things that they have during that event at Bohemian Grove that he recorded was a ceremony called the cremation of care. And it's where they burn this like super tall effigy or statue of an owl. And there's this like supposed mock sacrifice being made, and all kind of stuff happening. It's a big enactment. This guy's interacting with the owl and all kinds of stuff before he makes this sacrifice. And it's called cremation of care. And essentially what it supposedly is for these elites, it's a ceremony for them to eliminate their conscience of the evil things that they will be doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see the problem.
Yeah, burning away your ability to care for.
Yep.
Yeah. And we've had many presidents participate in this.
Yep. I would say it gets to be so bad it makes Jeffrey Epstein's island look like a youth retreat.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, and as bad as the whole thing with Jeffrey Epstein is, this stuff here is gross. I mean, the stuff that goes on there is very gross.
Well, supposedly Jeffrey Epstein has no client list, so it just somehow just went away.
Yeah.
And Ghislaine Maxwell's apparently in prison for the
nothing.
next 20 plus years for no reason.
Yeah. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here, folks.
Nothing to see here, folks. That's exactly right. Oh boy. So yeah. Oh, speaking of children, let me throw you for another loop here, kiddos. I don't know. We're getting pretty biblical on this one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can go there with you.
So old school, Old Testament or New Testament? Which one?
Both, and specifically books that were removed from Scripture, books that were hidden from Scripture. So, so how about this? They have now, scientists, whatever, have now come up with a process. It's called IVG. Y'all might have heard of IVF, like in vitro fertilization type thing. Okay. They've come up with a new process called IVG, which will allow same-sex partners to have children.
I don't see what's wrong with that. I mean, I don't see the problem.
So what they do, and you might say, well, like, how is that possible? Like a man doesn't produce eggs and a woman doesn't produce sperm. Well, they don't. However,
I was gonna say, wait, what?
However, what they
that was a crazy transition, Kyle.
Yeah, I love it. So what they do is they take the pluripotent stem cells. That's what they're called, pluripotent stem cells from each partner. It can be 2 males or 2 females, doesn't matter. By the way, the child that's produced from this will be blood related to both parents. Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll take stem cells, these pluripotent stem cells from both partners, and they use those to extract the information that's needed to grow in a petri dish sperm cells and egg cells. So they have to choose which one's going to be the mommy, which one's going to be the daddy, right? They produce these sperm cells and egg cells from each one of the parents. And then once they grow those in a lab, then they use IVF, in vitro to fertilize them. By the way, they pick the healthiest one. Any other children that are produced from this gets discarded. But yeah, they're lab-grown babies from same-sex partners. Don't we have something in Scripture talking about there will be monsters and things like that?
It'll be like in the days of Noah.
Yeah, that children, the women will produce monsters.
Oh yeah. What was it, like with the white hair or something like that, and like come out old looking or something? Yeah, what was that, Jubilees, or where did we read that from?
Was that Second Esdras?
I don't think it was Second Esdras. I could be wrong, but
it wasn't Jubilees. It wasn't Jubilees.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we definitely was read that, and it was interesting.
Yeah, I think it was Second Esdras. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, it's never happened before. But it's the first time for everything. So if that wasn't bad enough, simultaneously, what we have going on if you don't think there's some evil people doing some crazy things in labs right now regarding human beings, you about to wake up to a whole new reality of what's going on in this world. So we've had all this. Did you find it?
I did.
Okay, where is it?
So unfortunately for me, I was wrong. Fortunately for you, you were correct. It is Second Esdras.
Oh, it is Second Esdras? Okay.
Yeah, chapter 6. It says, "And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and shall live and be raised up." And it continues to go on about all these other.
Well, I thought that was part of like the speeding up process. Like that was kind of like a blessing type thing. It was to get them through the tough times that were going to be ahead. I thought that part, but there is something that talks about. There was something that we read in one of those books that talked about them young children being as like old men or something like that, and women producing monsters and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, we definitely read it.
Yeah. Do a word search in that Second Esdras, see if the word monsters comes up. Because that was the word that was used, at least in the version that we read anyway. Well, while you're doing that, let me share this. So if that wasn't bad enough, we're about to see some crazy stuff coming out. So they aren't showing the process yet. But supposedly, they have now perfected the means of blending multiple species with humans to be able to take on the characteristics that they want them to have. For example, the blending of human and octopus skin cells.
I saw that one.
You saw that?
Yeah.
For the sake of like cloaking, so an individual, like let's say military guys are in the woods and all of a sudden they just morph into looking like the tree behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some crazy stuff there, boy.
Bro.
That's some predator stuff there, Bobby. I'll tell you what.
Stuff's getting biblical, man. I'm telling you. Where was it, Joe?
It is in Second Esdras. It's chapter 5, verse 8. It says, excuse me. It says, chasms will open up in many places, and fire will be shot forth frequently. Wild beasts will roam beyond their territory, and women will give birth to monsters. Now that's the CEB. What is the CEB?
Couldn't tell you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I guess it's the version of who wrote it. Then the NRSVA says there shall be chaos also in many places. Fire shall often break out. The wild animals shall roam beyond their haunts. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
Right.
And so it's like I don't know what the NRS. You got an NRSVUE, then you have an NRSVA, which is what I just read from.
So that's the New Revised Standard Bible or whatever. It's like the original old ones, and then the Common English Bible. Those are like the ones back with like after the Gutenberg, but in that Geneva Bible range. Before we had this, all the King James 1611 and all that. There was a bunch of ones that you can't really read if you try to go back and look at it.
Here you go. At the very bottom, it actually answers my question. There we go. Yeah. Well, I didn't see all this at the bottom. Okay. Yeah. The NRSVUE is New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition.
Wow. Yeah, they had to update it because it was unreadable.
Yeah, and the CEB is the Common English Bible.
Yeah. It's like trying to read Shakespeare before there was Shakespeare.
Right,
like, whatever there was before that.
Well, they pretty much all say the same thing. I mean, it's just worded a little bit different. But what's interesting is the other three mention a menstruous woman. In the first one, the Common English Bible just says, and women will give birth to monsters. But yeah. So I wonder what that means, though. It says wild beasts will roam beyond their territory.
Yeah, so I think that's even mentioned. I want to say in either one of the prophets or in Revelation in the end times. Yeah,
it is.
And it talks about like that the beast will like no longer like hide away in the forest. Like they'll be after man. Like they're
I'm sorry. Finish what you're saying.
No, go ahead.
Yes, animals they will no longer fear mankind.
Right.
So like right now, you know, a snake don't want anything to do with you unless you step on it or get too close where it feels like it's backed into a corner or whatever. If it feels threatened, it'll attack you. But a snake don't want nothing to do with you. However, yes, the way that this is worded in prophecy is that they coming after you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So then the whole purpose is, you know, like you can't hide, you can't run. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go run to the woods to dodge the guns. No, the
Nope.
animals are gonna get you. Oh, I'm gonna go try to hunt it on the rocks. The rocks gonna get you.
Yeah.
You're gonna get got.
I'm gonna stay in my house. Spiders, ants,
right?
Like, you gonna get eaten.
And what's crazy too about it is, you know, when you look at like go back to the Garden of Eden, everything was kind of at peace, right? You know, there was all the animals were in there, nobody was dying, right? Then all of a sudden it got a little normal after that, and then like later it's like, oh no, these animals that were supposed to be your friends, which you had dominion over, yeah, as mankind, if you think you have dominion, you have lost all of it. If you think you're still in charge of anything, you're not. Whatever you used to keep in subjugation, you know, your animal husbandry and all that stuff, yeah, your cows are gonna be like, milk what? Psh, get out of here. No, we're not doing that anymore. So it's a crazy thought because, you know, we've never lived in a world like that before, where it's like you're just walking in the woods and you're like, oh, that wild boar that normally would run away and be skittish is like, me and you, we got a tango, and all my 5 brothers, and then beware of the birds coming out of the sky. Good luck with this.
Yeah, and that's just the wild animals. Let's not forget all the domesticated animals that everybody has. You know, think about these folks that have, you know, these humongous dogs as pets.
All right.
Like if you got a Chihuahua, I mean, that's going, you know, that's not going to be too fun having to kick your dog in the head. But, you know, but think about the ones, all these Rottweilers and Pit Bulls and everything else, and how quickly that situation is going to be ended, and then there's going to be packs of dogs everywhere.
Yeah, if you catch your very large animal kind of staring at you across the room like he's got thoughts going on, be like, you want to go outside?
Well, think about this too. If they're coming outside of their territory, think about this. We have animals that, now I would assume we're not going to be seeing sharks walking on the land. However,
there are tornado sharks though. Don't forget.
There are those. But let's not forget about the things that typically stick to the swamplands that will no longer be in swamplands. You got your pythons, you got your alligators, that sort of thing.
Swamp thing, yeah, I know.
Swamp.
Him and Bigfoot and the Yeti all get together and have a party.
And and don't forget, Elvis will be there too. He's playing lead. But anyway,
Elvis is preaching at a church in Tennessee right now.
Oh yeah, hey, Kyle, check this out. Share this photo real quick. When you talked about women giving birth to like beasts or whatever,
I heard about this show. I haven't watched it at all, but I heard about it.
Let's see if there's hold on one second. Let me see something here. Like, I don't know why it brings that up on your screen. It should be a lot bigger than that.
Well, I'm just sharing what you shared.
Let's see if that one. Nope. Is it on a different one? Oh, I see. Never mind.
Let me know if you get it, and I'll pull it up.
Did that change? Did the picture change?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's still small, but I mean, the picture changed.
I know. I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
One thing
I just want to make sure. I didn't realize I had two tabs open on that, but did it not get any larger than that?
It did not.
That's weird because I just made it.
Let's see. Well, here, do it now, and then I'll add it to the screen. Let's try it now.
Yeah, and for you guys who are waiting and or can't see this, it's the movie show Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yes.
By the way, where does that even air on? Because I haven't seen it.
That's Netflix.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I've never seen it.
All right, try that one. Did I get any bigger?
No, that looks exactly the same.
What? It's a conspiracy. How about that one?
No, identical.
What? How about that one?
Nothing has changed.
Dude, this is ridiculous.
I just took us off the screen there for a second.
Yeah.
But no, nothing has changed, Joe. Anyway,
so yeah. So the premise of the Sweet Tooth. So you talked about in Ezra's talk about women giving birth to monsters. Well, the premise of this movie is that there's this virus or something like that. So I don't give it all away, but I mean that's you know, if you've done anything into it, everything's a virus now. but it's affected the genome of humans and animals, and somehow, I want to give it away for anybody who wants to watch it. I actually watched the entire series, and it was very well put together. But the whole time I was watching, I'm going, this is crazy stuff. So the young kid, he's born, he's got the antlers coming out of his head, and so yes, he has part deer DNA and all that stuff inside of him. But women, now this is
So he's
something that's
clean.
interesting. Is he's kosher. And
the deer part,
yeah,
not the human part.
Oh, okay.
right. But women are giving birth, not realizing in a movie when you see it, like people are like nervous about being pregnant because you can have literally a normal woman, normal husband, have a baby, but the babies are all at some point are now all. It's almost like there's a 90% chance you're going to give birth to something that's of the animal kingdom. And
Wow.
so within the show, he meets up with other children that are like him, and there's you just name everything's out there, from birds to pigs to all kinds of stuff, to all these children. But when you said that, I said, wait a minute, I remember that show and this wasn't a voluntary thing. This was just happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the movie, there's of course women that are pregnant that are very like, nervous all the way up to they have the baby. And but anyway, if you haven't checked it out, if you got a Netflix account, it's worth watching. I like watching these things because I feel like they're still telling you things. I feel like they're still showing you things, and so anyway. Just
I don't watch any of this stuff for entertainment value anymore, but I do every once in a while check something out for the sake of like, all right, what are they trying to say without saying it?
And when you get to the end of it, it kind of like that's where they really show their hands. So I'm not going to tell anybody. No spoiler alerts. But when you get towards the end of it, you get to see more of what agenda they're pushing with this show. So that's all I'm gonna say. But anyway.
Well, all I know is a pillow hated to see that boy, because can you imagine trying to sleep with antlers? And then from your original topic, Kyle, you were talking about the buck moon, right? It was like the time when the deer and the antlers and all that stuff, and I was like, you know what? Somehow we didn't orchestrate this, but that was all orchestrated well together. But
right together,
exactly. But we were talking about the animals and stuff, and like how like they'll go against the natural order of things, and they'll lose their desire to leave you alone. They've been coming out with, speaking of shows, Joe, they've been coming out with lots of shows. Like one's called Zoo, where like the animals just lose their mind and get out, and they just start like doing their own thing, attacking the owners and stuff like that. There's like all these shows about animals doing some foolishness, some silliness, and if you go back and start thinking about Deep Blue Sea, Jaws, Moby Dick, the Kraken, right? These are animals that are bent on killing humans, fighting people, right? That's not supposed to happen. The squid's supposed to be out in the water doing something. An octopus supposed to be down there eating fish or whatever. Shark's supposed to just be swimming around being its own thing. It's like you've been chasing, and then even like the killer whales, they're like attacking ships and stuff, and they've like sunk ships. Like there's certain ships that like we're not going to this area anymore because the natural wildlife is trying to kill us.
Right.
So we're already starting to see this play out a little bit in real life. And it's interesting because when you're like, okay, I read this, but that, that Bible stuff, yeah, that's in the future. Who cares? It's not even got to deal with us. It's far-fetched anyway. It sounds like science fiction. Then you're like, wait, we're watching this happen. Wait. We're seeing these things like in real life.
Did you ever see the one though where the seal jumps up in the back of a boat that's moving and hangs out because the orcas were after him?
Yeah.
Like he's like, I don't know if I can trust you, but I know for sure I can't trust them. And my God, have you ever seen an orca like going full at it though in the water? Like I've seen guys with their boats like fully throttled, and that orca come up beside them like they're not even moving. And just and as I look at him like, I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah.
But when that seal came out the water and he was sitting on the back of that boat, he was like, "Thank God, man, for you," because he's about to be an orca meal, man, big time. But
the scariest one, Joe, you're talking about the thing chasing the boat. The scariest one I've ever seen was that hippo. When that hippo was under the water, I was losing my cool in the video. Like I'm watching him, and I was like, there's no way a hippo is moving at that speed, making that ripple effect, and this boat's like, and that thing is like, I'm coming. And you see the head pop up.
Oh yeah.
I was like, no. Whatever
Dude.
water that is, I'm never going in it. Ever, never.
Dude,
Yep.
hippos kill more people. To my understanding, I think they are the number one killer of people of all
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah. They don't
Well, not of
play.
all animals, but in Africa where they're at, they kill more people than lions do.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it's a big statistic, whatever it is. I know they kill a lot of people.
All I know is people look at, oh, look at the cute hippo, and the hippo's like, man, one bite and you're done. Like
Exactly.
you're just, or I could just run you over with my
How do they
3,000 pound body and just like crush you because
how do they move so quickly in the water?
I have no idea.
They're
Buoyancy.
swimming. They're swimming, but they don't have fins or anything. It's just
Oh.
it's crazy how they move so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Created
man.
them that way.
I guess that little tail that does this when they
Wow, 500 deaths a year from hippos. Lions
crazy.
are only 22.
Yep.
Yeah. How many
So-
how many by sharks? See what sharks are. Just to
Yo, it's
compare.
well, and again, I think it's people's ignorance. Also, now hippos are very
sure.
aggressive. Now, if you get anywhere near them, they are high,
Oh, yeah.
especially the males are very highly aggressive to begin with.
They're very
But I
territorial.
think some of us is dumb people like going, oh, it's a hippo, he can't catch me, or he's
Yeah.
he's like 50 yards away. And the next, now not only can they move in the water, but they can have good short bursts of speed up to 30 miles an hour on land.
Wow.
And the last time I checked, Big Joe don't run 30 miles an hour now.
No human does.
No.
20 something and you're
and-
done
Yeah.
for a short
Yeah,
burst.
and
So Kyle, this
so-
says on average 16 shark attacks per year in
That's
the United
just facts.
States,
Okay.
Fatal.
and one fatality
attack?
every 2 years.
Oh wow.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's just U.S. Now you go to Australia and stuff. I'm sure they've got more, but
I mean,
worldwide, 7 confirmed fatalities last year. So 7 versus 500,
Yeah.
and we're
That's-
afraid of sharks.
and
And
we're afraid of
lions.
sharks. Yeah, exactly.
We're afraid to go into the water, but the hippos out there going, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Come
Man.
here.
Well, I'll tell you this, guys. Like, one of the sources for a lot of this information, because I mean, you're not going to hear any of this stuff on mainstream media. Well, first of all, if you want the real source, go to the scriptures, because that'll tell you what's coming. You might not see in
Yeah.
what fashion, but you'll know what's coming. Go to the scriptures, because all this stuff is talked about in prophecy. And check out those extra biblical books. The Canon Plus side, the plus part. Yeah. So check those books out. Second Esdras, Second Baruch, Enoch. Those books are loaded with end time stuff. I love Second Baruch, dude. I've become addicted to that book lately. But so that's the biblical side of things. Is you can get a lot of information there, but one of the places where we've been able to get a lot of information in recent years is about to go away. So I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but in September of this year, TikTok is going away as we know it.
Really?
Yep. As we know it. So from September of this year to March of 2026, there will be no TikTok, supposedly. And then they're coming out with an American version of TikTok called M, and it's short for Meta.
Or money. It's all about money.
Or malicious. I don't know. So there's 2 big things that's going to happen with this. Number one is you're no longer going to be able to see what's going on in the rest of the world. There's going to be a lot of information that was readily available to us that's no longer going to be available to us, just because
Wow.
all the other platforms, even though there's not supposed to be any, hiding of information and that sort of stuff and free speech and yada, 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 we know better than that, right?
Mhm.
The other thing that's going to happen is it provides the U.S. government full access to all of your data.
Got to have that.
Yep. So there's the 2 big things that are happening with the switch over in TikTok there. So now I will say this: if you're one of those people who are going to sign up for it anyway, you're like, I want to do it, so whatever. If you're going to do it anyway, my suggestion would be, as soon as the platform opens, you be ready with a lot of content and make a bunch of money. And the reason why is because they are probably going to be paying big amounts to encourage people to move over to their platform when it launches. So, and then it's going to go back down to the garbage it is now, which is basically nothing that they pay. So,
got it. So our transition will be Super Meta Plus.
Yeah. So, you find a lot of cool stuff on there. You can go down some rabbit holes. You can learn a lot of stuff that you're not going to see on Instagram. You're not going to see on Facebook. And even if you do find cool stuff on Facebook, information wise, it's just stuff that hasn't been taken away yet. Right. And most of that is shared content from TikTok.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's crazy, man, what they're doing with it. I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
Well, we started off talking about some, with the whole Israel rule and stuff like that of who you can and can't talk about, and a little bit of that First Amendment.
Well, apparently you can talk about anybody else, but
anybody except them. Yeah,
I don't care if you talk about whoever. Just don't even look this way.
Yeah. So this seems like another. Like when the moon landing, one small step for man, it seems like another one small step for internet privacy and blocking and
1984, gentlemen.
Yeah.
1984.
We're losing a little bit of our First Amendment rights, and a little bit of, censorship gods are coming down from the sky again. And hey, we definitely want you to use it the way that we want you to use it. And whenever we deem it to be inappropriate, we will, gently remove it from you or remove you altogether. And we'll just delete your profile and everything you've ever done because we didn't like it. So it just seems like more control.
I want to throw this out there because I was wondering if either one of you would bring this up, but you didn't. So let me do it now.
You didn't give me time. I was working on it.
I know, right? It was like
it was brewing.
Go ahead. What is it? So I want y'all to think about this for a minute. What is the ramifications of this really? If you can't, if this truly is a thing where we're not able to speak against the nation state of Israel, think about this for a minute. To become an Israeli citizen today, you must convert.
I'm wearing the wrong hat.
You must, if you are
you need another point on that star.
If you're a Christian, you must denounce Christ.
That's correct.
That's not going to happen.
And you must denounce Christ, and you must adopt Judaism, whether you practice or not. That you have to make that claim that is your new faith. That's in place right now in Israel, right? So if that becomes, if that is the stance of the nation of Israel, and we're not able to speak against the nation of Israel or their policies or anything else, how long is it going to be before they start saying, if you're a Christian and you believe that Jesus is the Messiah and that he's not burning in his own excrement right now, as Judaism teaches, then you're speaking against the nation state of Israel.
Yeah, go ahead and take me now. I'm good. I'm out of here.
And that's how easy it would be for Christians to get imprisoned.
Yeah.
They use this idea that Christians are supposed to support Israel to their own demise because Christians have no idea who Israel really is. It's that easy, and it's gone. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. That's why it's important to read the book.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I don't want to leave it there. So let me share a couple of things that I learned on TikTok this past week. I thought y'all would think was pretty cool.
Well, you better get it all in now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's about to be over with. So, do y'all remember, Jonathan, did you ever watch Gilligan's Island? Have you ever seen any of those episodes?
Man, I might have seen like a half episode. I know of it. I've heard the character names. I've never watched it.
Okay. Well, Joe, I know, right? Joe, like,
oh yeah,
he's just a baby. Let's leave him alone. You're missing out, dude. You ought to watch Gilligan's Island. Like, it'd be a great show for your children to watch, man.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
It's very bright and sunny looking.
It's in black and white, you know. They had some color episodes, but anyway. So the guy that played the professor on Gilligan's Island, his name was Russell Johnson. You know, we learned some things about Mr. Rogers, you know, not long ago. I know it was a few years back when I heard this, and I was like, oh man, he was a Marine and yada yada yada. Well, Russell Johnson, professor on Gilligan's Island, flew 44 combat missions in the Pacific.
Wow.
His bomber crashed at one point where he busted both of his ankles in the crash and then tread water for over 12 hours. And not once did he ever speak about it. Dawn Wells, which was one of the cast members, she played Mary Ann, didn't know any of this information until it was spoken about at his funeral.
Yep.
That's crazy. Right?
Yeah, and she was the last surviving member of that cast also up until a few years ago. She passed away.
So that's crazy. And in addition to that, Jonathan, here's another one for you. Have you ever watched any old Dukes of Hazzard episodes?
Come on, John.
Dude, he is missing out, bro. If you don't get on Nick at Night or something, bro,
only general I know about is the insurance company.
Oh Lord, have mercy. So, you remember Boss Hogg, Joe?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he was a very intelligent man. No doubt about it. Go ahead.
Does it count that I've seen the new one with Jessica Simpson or whoever that was?
No.
Okay. I did see that one.
No.
Willie Nelson playing all. No.
Yeah. Well, apparently, Boss Hogg spoke 12 languages, and he did counterintelligence during the Korean War.
Wow.
Yep.
Like, this was a very smart dude. So that was that's pretty wild. Like, Jonathan, if you ever watch any of the episodes and you see this man, you would be like, no way.
He does a fantastic job. As a matter of fact, his voice on the show is not his native voice.
Oh no.
It's not. It's like what was he? Was he French or?
Now that I don't know.
He has an accent when you hear him speaking outside of the role, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, when you see him as Boss Hogg versus who he was in real life, you were like this man should have won an Oscar. Seriously, because it was like you would have never guessed in a million years that he was as intelligent and the important role that he played and all that stuff, and in the military and all that. You would have never known it.
Wow,
dude, I ain't gonna lie, man. So every boy that grew up watching that wanted a General Lee, right? You know, I want a car I can jump stuff with it. I want a car I can jump stuff with, right? However, I ain't gonna lie, dude. That white Cadillac with them horns on the hood, bro, and that white suit and that white cowboy hat, woo! I would rock that all day.